Hi, YouTube, and thanks for joining us today on a life of compounding interest. Now, I am a skeptic. Most of the time, when I read something online, whether that be news or other articles, things that catch my eye and I feel like may apply to me, I approach them with a bit of doubt. A bit of doubt that they really do apply to me, a bit of doubt that they even apply to everyone and that the numbers are true. If you've read anything that I've written, this comes out in almost everything. I don't trust the statistics or narratives that are given to me at face value. But sometimes, looking more into it, I do come to believe it. And sometimes I just organically experience it and I reference back to those things that I consumed and I can say, wow, maybe this really is a thing. And that's what I'm talking about today. They want you mad. I don't care who they is. It could be the government, the tech companies, the advertisers, the corporations. It really doesn't matter. Everyone wants you mad at this day and age. For my people across the pond, mad translates to crazy, and mad in the US means you're just angry. And yes, they all want you a bit mad. This came to light for me when I was just analyzing some of my content. Now, I don't have a ton of views. I'm working on getting there. I don't use AI in the creation or idea process for any of my videos, for good or bad, but I do use AI. And I use a couple different models. And what I was using it for in this instance was just, how are things going? What's the traffic look like? How does the content pair up to something that people would consume? Just give me a SWOT analysis of what I've done so far in my writing, in my videos, etc. And the first bit of feedback that AI would give me when I was looking at my content was naturally a bit sycophantic. This content is great. It doesn't have many grammatical errors in it. You have a consistent tone, you have a consistent voice, your themes are more or less along the same lines. You've got a decent brand proposition here. It goes on to tell me some of the more useful things, like your keywords probably aren't aligned correctly. You should shift your keywords and maybe some of your titles in this direction. And then in the suggestions, it went sideways and it said something that I just can't forget. Your content is very balanced. You don't pick a side, and you are not divisive enough to capture a large audience. I'm not divisive enough. I'm not picking a side. I'm not trying to make certain people angry or anything else in my work. No, I've said it before. Honestly, I just want to help people and give them something else to think about that's not what they're catching on every social media channel out there. But I'm not divisive enough to capture an audience. And that is a huge problem. It is likely 100% accurate, but that doesn't make it any less problematic because everyone wants to make you mad. In an economy that attention is the currency, it's something that we all can give the machine is our attention. Our attention to ads, our attention to platforms, all of these things, they generate money for everyone that runs these companies. Everyone that's trying to make money on the internet requires attention. I'm no different. I would like a little bit of attention. But I'm not willing to make people mad for it. Because when you're angry or when you're fearful of something, these negative emotions naturally generate more attention towards something. It generates more attention because it's a threat. You feel like you have to pay attention to it. You got mad for a reason because there's a problem here. And so therefore you pay attention to it to prove that you're right, I guess. When you're afraid of something, you pay attention to it so you can avoid the worst possible outcomes. These things hold attention much more than positive reinforcement. Nobody wants to hear too much of that. I mean, I don't. I'm kind of still aggravated at the sycophantic nature of most AI and anything that I find these days. We have to butter you up before we can give you anything at all, because that's going to keep you engaged, make you feel good about this. It's not why I do anything. I do very few things to simply feel good about them. But this idea that you have to stay mad is something that the algorithms are never going to stop doing. We have to stop seeking that sort of interaction. We have to stop feeding into the things that actually make us mad and make us stay on them. Because what that does is it takes that anger and it just really solidifies any feelings and thoughts and ideology that follow that feeling. If you are mad about something, you ruminate on it. You think about it a bit longer. You think about how you're right in an argument rather than trying to see what the other person has to say. It's just like in a relationship. A lot of people will fight to try to win instead of fight to try to just find a better way to coexist together. That's the anger. That's what keeps people engaged in negative emotions. People just have to realize that. You have to realize that. You have to realize what is actually going on there. All people are trying to do is get your attention and hold it a little bit longer. So as you're going through your scrolls, as you're picking your YouTube videos, I just would love it if more people would consider why they are clicking on something. Are they clicking on something because it's something that might make them mad? Are they clicking on something because they're afraid of the topic? Are they clicking on something because they just want affirmation that they're right? This is what they want. They want you mad. They want you locked in. They want you to be predictable. And again, it's not some conspiracy theory against one group. It is the entire digital world. Everyone in this digital world wants your attention, and they want you to give them as much of it as you're able and willing to give. The best way to do that is to keep you mad, keep you crazy, keep you paranoid. You know what gets rid of anger and paranoia and a feeling of just being lost, all of those things? Just a little bit of knowledge, information, understanding not just about the topics, but about yourself. What makes you mad? And what can you do about that? This is what we need more of if we as a culture, as a race, even stand a chance in a future that is dominated by technology that knows exactly how to grab and hold our attention, and it's not good for us. People weren't meant to be angry all the time. People weren't meant to think about single topics constantly. Politics and money and all of these things. They weren't meant for that. They were meant to have times of anger, times of sadness, times of happiness, times of bliss, times of just sitting down and not thinking at all. Sometimes the best ideas come when you're not thinking at all. These are shower thoughts, right? If you actually want to explore your ideas as your ideas, it's in those times where you're alone. You don't have all this stimulation around you. You're not feeding off anyone else's ideas. The only person's ideas you have are your own. So, yeah, if you take nothing away from this, it might be don't play music in the shower. Don't do any of that. Just take that time and let your thoughts wander and roam and fixate on the things that are important to you, because that's probably one of the only places that most people have with no outside stimulation telling them what to think and what to do and how to behave and so on. So, yeah, don't let the algorithms and the systems make you mad. Don't feed into that. Try to keep even keel. And I'm going to do the same. It's definitely going to slow down any traction that I get on YouTube, in the writing world, or anything else. But I'm not here to make anyone mad. I don't want anyone to be mad. I want people to understand what is going on so they can put their effort towards the right things and not the things that just hold their attention. That's what a good life is. Control of your attention. You can focus on the right things. So, yeah, I won't be changing my content to make anyone mad. I won't be trying to do things that are divisive. I feel like I'm slightly divisive enough on my own. One thing that I've found is the most divisive thing you can be is moderate. Don't pick a side, because then you can make everyone mad. That's what I'll be doing here. Thank you for listening. I know this is just another rant and a rave. If you like this content, if you've got something that you would like to add, maybe I missed something and you've got some unique ideas on this, please drop them below. I would love this to be a conversation and not just a conversation with myself. So until next time, please pay attention. And I really do hope you take care. Cheers.